Hey, so, hey you guys. Uh, Today I'm gonna do a video on my viewpoints of jobs and what's going on with jobs um, due to the corona and the epidemic we're going through and things like that. So, um, I want to first start off by saying jobs suck. Sorry. No, but seriously, due to the epidemic that we are in, that we're currently going through, um, job searches have been, extremely hard. But my advice would be to people in times like this is to try in every way to add value to yourself. Um, that's my favorite, one of my favorite lines that I say to myself is to continue to add value to yourself no matter what. If that's meaning going back to school and finishing off, a degree that you wanted to do. And I understand that things take time, money, all this other stuff. Trust me, I know. But I do think that it's an important, very important to add value to yourself in every possible way. I mean, even if it's not going to school, if it's just getting your health better and, your blood sugar down, or, just to add value to yourself. So that way you can always help yourself and you don't have to depend on others to help you or, government jobs to help you. Um, there's a lot of, government jobs out here, fast food places, warehouses, that will not prosper. And what I mean by that is people have to understand and will know, will see that you cannot think that you're getting over on people and know that. Okay, let me start by what I'm saying. There's a lot of places you see outside. You'll see these signs posted up that says $18 an hour, or full time and this and that and this and that. But when you get to the job, it's a complete opposite. Everything is a complete lie. You understand what I'm saying? And that makes it difficult for people who are in need of work, because they come out with this false advertisement and everything they say is untrue. And then when you get in the job, it's like a plantation. Um, I did my research, and I understand why these jobs, like for instance, I know I have as much value as my to myself, and I will continue to do so. So when I'm working for these government jobs and I'm seeing how things being run, I know that the reason that you know people are not getting paid fairly and getting paid the right way is because they have immigrants who might not have all their papers correctly or might not know about this and that, and so they don't mind taking less pay just so they can be able to feed or take care of their family, which is understandable. You understand what I'm saying? But it makes it difficult for an American citizen, for someone else to get their right pay and do their right thing when these jobs, these warehouse jobs, these government jobs, these fast food jobs, these temp agencies, all this stuff, it makes it easier for them to say, okay, well, I'm gonna just hire a bunch of immigrants and a bunch of people who don't know, the laws and everything and about, minimum wage and everything, because they'll do it for less pay. And then I don't have to pay an American citizen who knows their rights, who knows, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it more difficult, just a tad bit difficult. Um, But when when these companies start getting cracked down on, and the government's really look into, and this is what makes me feel like the government knows and the government plays a part, because you can run a background check on anybody. Somebody can have a missed ticket and they're immediately, coming to your house about the missed ticket, putting a warrant out and all this and all that. But yet you have these companies, these temp agencies, these fast food places, these warehouses, these paying people under minimum wage. And this I personally know. I personally know this because um, at this moment, I've been, doing school online. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back out there in the working field because, that's what I do. I make moves. I'm a woman of many hats. I'm blessed for that. So, but when I'm getting back out there and I'm trying to find work, and I'm seeing how things are being, how people are being mistreated, how companies are lying, and it's like, it's getting worse over time. And another thing that's happening is racism. Like in racism and entitlement in these companies. You know what I'm saying? I'm noticing that, and it's not good. It's not good because what these companies have to understand is that's why you continue to hire people. That's why, I don't know if people know this, but someone ever goes to a company and they see like they're consistently hiring people. They're like hiring right there on the spot, da, 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 da. Or that's because they're not a good company. They're not running in. A lot of these companies have to continue to hire and get ran to the ground, because of the people that they have put in place, that they so-called put in management positions and don't do nothing. And for instance, I just recently came from a company, and horrible. It was horrible. And when I walked in, they had a white man, and he was just, his mouth was horrible. So instantly, because I'm not used to, I'm like, you can't talk to people like this. And someone like, jobs always say you read the handbook, but yet they don't even apply their own handbook to the workers that work there. I've seen, so far looking for jobs, I've seen uh, management, bosses, um, racially disrespect black people, Haitians, immigrants, you know what I'm saying? And they think that the immigrants don't understand. And I noticed that with the immigrants too, is they play as if they don't understand. But then when I talk to them, and I don't know it's because I'm black, so they feel like they can, be themselves, but and I'm like, oh, they understand English pretty well. But then when I see them get around the boss, they act complete opposite. And they probably do it for their own reasons. But to all of these companies that do that, because I can sit here and say so many racist things and so many things about these companies, um, but there's no need, because that's why they continue to hire. That's why they continue to not prosper. You have people that it's like a family company, I guess, what the case may be, but and and the disrespect is just horrible. But for me, it's like, okay, you can say you have this and that, but yet you're still working here. So what is it? You were the one in the family that didn't make it, so now you have to work for the company. Like, I'm not understanding. Or are you trying to wait until the person, your family member who owns it, croaks and you think it's gonna pass? I don't really necessarily care about how that works. But if these companies want to keep good workers and keep people, start with not being racist. Start with not feeling this entitlement, because the people that's in those chairs and in those offices, you know, they're not on the fields and pushing whatever needs to be pushed, pushing the product for, pushing the box for. They're not doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? So what's the entitlement for? And pay people their worth. Don't try to hire immigrants to pay them less. And you're not even like, I'm talking about $8 an hour, $9.50 an hour. Like, you got to be kidding me. And I know this because I come from a company, and I started talking to one of the girls, and just having a lunch table talk, and we got into the mix of our pay. And I let's start by this. I hear people say lots, you shouldn't tell someone how much you make, you shouldn't tell someone how much you make, and all this other stuff. But for me, it's like, it's yours to say. It's nothing in the law. It's nothing in a job book. Like these jobs always like to say the handbook. There's no handbook that says you shouldn't tell someone what you get paid. But they've made it so people could think that, so they can do what they want to people. Or you shouldn't tell such and such because that person's gonna hate. And I'm the type of person where, like, I'm gonna say what I want out of my mouth. Period. It's not about that person hating or that person running back and tell. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I had a manager come to me and tell me to lie, because me and this coworker were having a conversation, and we were talking, and she was asking me questions about her life. I was asking her questions about her life. She was asking me questions about mine. And it wasn't like it was an intent to be like, oh, I make this much. We were just having lunch table talk, and it came up, or whatever the case may be. Long story short, I'm guessing the coworker, but see, I understand business. I understand that, some people get paid a certain amount based off of certain things, experience, and I get that. But what bothered me was when the manager came up to me and said, go to her and lie. Go to her and lie and say, you were lying, that you made a mistake, that's not true. And what I'm not going to do is lie on myself and lie to someone else for the sake of someone. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see, I didn't see the whole misfit. Like, as a company, if someone comes to you and say, okay, I think I'm entitled to this, and this is why, and this is why, you solve that. It shouldn't have to be based off someone else said to the coworker, and now you feel some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not understanding the concept with that. I'm really not. So, needless to say, I'm just saying this because, a lot of these companies don't prosper because of how they treat the workers. And for them, they feel like, oh, well, I'll just hire someone else. But what these companies have to understand is, and I could sit here and name a couple of companies who are look, there's companies that I work for in the airport who are crack. Like I said, fast food places, retail places, warehouses, especially warehouses. It's cool. It's like a plantation. It's like a plantation, if someone ever, worked in a warehouse before. And and I say that because they have people talking to people like, oh, lift your backs, lift your knees, and move quicker and move quicker. And I feel like someone knows they come to work. You don't have to. On a plantation, if people don't understand, there was the house nigger, and there was the master, and there was the people on the horses as the black people were working in the field, telling them to move faster, and whipping them. If you ever worked in a warehouse, that's exactly what it is. Especially in the urban communities. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, it's not a good thing. There was a warehouse that I was working for that even locks you inside. So if there's a hazard, and see, another thing for me is when I was seeing this go on in these warehouses, I would speak up. So I think that's another thing why they had a problem with me, because I know my laws. I know I've been working since I was a young buck, so I know my laws. So for me, when you're locking me in somewhere and there's no way I can get out, and it has to take someone to come from somewhere to scan their bag, that's a hazard. That's illegal. You cannot do things like that. So like I said, when they're hiring these immigrants don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? So for them, it's like, okay, it's just happening. So when you have someone that speak up and know they're right, oh, they're gonna immediately find a way to get you out. They're gonna immediately like it's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, um, one thing I'm very like I love my intelligence. I'm a very knowledgeable person. I love to learn. That's just me. I love to learn. I love to listen to other aspects from other people. Because you can get that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? If you knew everything, then you'll be the only one to know everything. Um, but that's why you have other brains. So I'm a big learner. So I'm always like I love like school. School is my thing. Like I can because one place that a person should definitely add value to themselves is through school. If you can, school is not for everyone, and that's totally understandable. I get that. But there's other ways someone can add value to their self. So you just don't have to deal with an unfair. I mean, you're always there's gonna be things you have to deal with and get by until you reach your goals, until you reach your intentions, your desires, your blessings, right? But until then, add value to yourself. Um, through this, like I said, through this epidemic, now I'm doing virtual school. So for me, I got out of school. I got pulled out of college, and now I'm on the internet. So I'm like, okay, I have time to do my schooling on the internet, but I need to do more. I want to get back out there. Da da da. So to go back out and to get in and just to see all this going on at times like this, the job that I just came from, like I dipped behind because the owner's son and a worker, a white man or whatever. They both were white. One was I think they were Italian or something like that. They were talking about the immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Like, and very racial things going on. So I knew that it was like I instantly it wasn't going to be for me because I'm better than that and I'm not going to allow that. But it's just it's crazy. It's crazy, and I'm going to continue to say like my opinion. I think that the government needs to do more of some type of survey or some type of talking to the workers of seeing what's going on and how they are being treated in certain things because it's like and another thing I found out working at this company short term. I ran into a girl at the bathroom and she was like, yeah, do you know that they will freeze you to move faster? And at first, like me, like, I go to a job, I'm like, okay, some people, that's probably your experience, everyone's different. But I also listen, you know what I'm saying? I don't just bypass what people say. So, but I also, I my experience, your experience, I have to learn for myself. So when I bumped into the girl, she's like, yeah, girl, they will freeze you if you don't move fast enough. I didn't believe it until the manager, and this place is like I guess because those are his sons that work there at the company. So for me, when the white son, the son pulled us in a group, and now mind you, this isn't like I just literally started like 1 or 2 days, and he was already like so like brutally angry, like you guys are not moving fast enough, and da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, when I first started, I was moving too fast. Now it's like it was so many mixed informations, and um, when it was starting to get extremely cold for some reason, like extremely, and I'm like, so I'm going around because I can't. When I first applied for this job, I said if it's in a cold, I can't because you know I get sick. You understand what I'm saying? I get very cold fast. I get anemic. I'm very anemic. You know what I'm saying? And I eat plenty of vegetables. I love that. That's just my blood type. And so when I seen this, it didn't click in my mind because I started walking around and asking everybody, like, are you guys getting real cold or so? All of a sudden just got immediately cold. And so it didn't click until I felt like this rush of more air just instantly just hit me. And I look up, like, where's this air coming from? Because I started to feel it. And in the warehouse, they had a bunch of old fans. So I see the fans on too. So I'm like, I instantly thought, it took me back to what the girl said in the bathroom. And it was all coming to me because just before that, he had us in a group saying that we wasn't, he wanted us to move faster. So I'm like, did they cut on the air and the fan to, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, yeah, it was too much. It was racist things happening, and it wasn't good, you know. And it was a warehouse, and it was like, there's no need to drop names because you basically, majority of these warehouses, these temp agencies, these government push companies are basically the same. And not, and for them, it was just horrible. And especially the ones that's in the urban communities. And yeah, it was just horrible. And for that to be like a family thing, I guess, or whatever, because the sons were working there, and it was like, the name says it all. If you ever see the name and it's a warehouse, you'll see that it's a family. Like, it says it all. But that's not the only one. You have, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. You have the temp agencies. You have all these local warehouses. I have people I know who was working in Blue Apron, and said that about Blue Apron, and Hello Fresh, and said that about Amazon. That's why if you look online, you will always see Amazon is always hiring. Hello Fresh is always hiring. Blue Apron, because it's like they run it like a plantation. These warehouses is always hiring. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, it's truly sad. And like I said, it's horrible. It's horrible. Now, I'm not saying that these companies can't get better. These warehouses can't get better, because it's also small companies too. Like I said, it's ones in the airport. And you can look because they're always hiring. The little posters that you see in these urban neighborhoods, $17 an hour, 18 lies. These warehouses are lies. They're lies. They're lies. They're horrible. And just, people, do your reviews on them. Do your reviews. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Um, and learn from them. Learn from the experience, and see how they run their company, and why they always have to hire, and why they always looking for people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good thing. So my advice to people is to just add value to yourself. And nowadays there's so many different opportunities where you can, and I know that it's can be extremely tough sometimes. Trust me, I know. But don't give up. Don't give up, because I know I'm not. I know I'm capable of. So for me, I don't like let it like get to me. You know what I'm saying? At all, because I know the person that I am, and I know what I'm capable of. I'm truly 100% blessed, even through what I consider my tough times. Um, but the company should not. They should not prosper. They should not prosper. They got to, I mean, if that's what they choose to want, that's what they choose to choose to do. Um, yeah, so that's what I just wanted to come in and talk about, and talk to you guys about. Like, where I can't say we all in the same boat, because you have people that has, millions and millions, and right now is sitting on an island somewhere, and it can care less. Um, but for me, I'm not that person, and I'm okay with that. Um, And I'm not going to be that person, you know. Um, but I will continue to add value to myself. Yeah. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm not like like, oh, this and that and this and that and what am I gonna do type, because like I said, I'm always, doing something. Like right now I'm still working on my book. So that I hope everyone, reads and buy and under and respects and understand where I was going with that. But and that's another thing, like little things that inspires you or helps you, just think about it. Think about it and start it. If it's from writing something down to, touching back on it here and there, because I'm a woman of many hats. I have a lot of things that's on my mind. My creator knows. So for me, I know I'm not going to be sitting here like this. Sometimes I have my days when I can write for 2 hours, write for 3, 4 hours, and sometimes I don't, and that's okay. I am my biggest person who put pressure on myself, my biggest critic. I am my biggest cheerleader, so you know how that goes. But just people be aware of your laws and your rights. Understand that people, even through times like this, people in companies and warehouses and little companies are still trying to get over on people. They are still trying to get over. They don't care about someone needing to feed their family. They don't care about the way they speak to people, the way they act towards people. And just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. I know some things might be difficult and you might feel like, well, I can't do this and go back to school. I can't do that. Understandable. So that's the video I wanted to talk to you guys about. And just to add once, I know I keep saying it, but I am so truthful when I say it, to add value to yourself in any way possible. You understand what I'm saying? Like seriously, to add, and surround yourself around people who love you and have your back and who understands where you're coming from. That's what I do. That's some of my advice. And understand that these companies that do people wrong and try not to pay people their worth, but yet they're going out every weekend and spending money and doing this and doing that, they should not prosper. They should not prosper, because if they were, they wouldn't still be there. Half of the people that's working, with these family companies and all that, if you shouldn't be there. You should have to continuously hire and all. You shouldn't have to do that. But that's what's going to happen. That's going to continue to happen until their business falls. Simple as that. Simple as that. I've seen it plenty of times, hiring so many different people. And another thing these companies have to understand is word gets around. To all of you companies that you think you're getting over, word gets around. That's why you move from city to city, or why you move it here and why you try to have it there, and word gets around. And nowadays, with us millennials, words gets around even more, because we talk and we connect on the internet, and we're gonna tell you, like, girl, you don't want to work here. You don't want to date this, that, and third. Change up. Change up. I understand that in America, in this world, you have to have, you want to make your money off your business and everything and all that other crap. But let's be real about it. When you open a business, you look up, what's minimum wage in America. Pay people that. Pay people that. Okay? Give people their right of their entitlement to their raises when they're busting their crap. I mean, like I said, there's laws. If you look it up, there's work laws, there's job laws. Stop forcing people and telling people that, like they don't know that they're entitled to 2 days off in America. Okay, stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? And trying to force people to work overtime, knowing that they have kids that they have to come and pick up from daycare. They already did a whole 8 hours for you, coming in on their day off and all that. But now they got to put their family aside to turn this into their life. And now, like for instance, when I was doing the little warehouse things or whatever, everybody in there was so angry. So angry. Oh, I've been working here. I tell people all the time, if you say you've been working here for 10 years and all that other stuff, it's time to let it go. All of you government agencies, unemployment, welfare, warehouse workers, managing all the stuff that you guys been doing, nobody gives a shit. We don't care. We don't care. Just like you don't care about us millennials, we don't care about, oh, I'm such and such plus. I'm 4 years. I've been working. Here's some news flash from a true millennial. We don't care. We don't care because you guys are so worried about. And this is a sad thing. You guys say stuff about us millennials today. Oh, you guys are workers and you think people should do that. No. Don't. This is how you raise us to be. To not cry and to not give up and to and to push for. This is how. So now when you have the Z kids coming out, you want them to be more sentimental because you can't take us, our attitudes, our demeanors, and all that stuff. And my whole thing is, it's not me having an attitude because I'm a worker and I came to work. So if I come to work, right? I come to work and equipment is not working. Equipment is not working. I'm telling my manager and he's making up all lies and ignoring me, but yet forcing me, just like these warehouse, move faster, but you're having equipment from 2009 and it's 2020. You don't want to upgrade. You don't want to spend a little coin to get 612 machines so things can get moving in here and things can get done. But you want to complain and have me, give me headaches and talk to me any type of way because your company is not ran properly. I just came from a warehouse and due to the epidemic or whatever, over there by the Raymonds or whatever, you guys didn't even provide face masks and gloves. Due to the epidemic, every job is supposed to provide that. Every time you go to work, there should be free face masks and gloves. And that's a warehouse. Touching things all day, around the coldness all day. They putting on an ear to the just came from there. No gloves, no mask, no nothing. You have the managers. Run the camera. I'm not lying. Walking around with no face mask. You tell a black woman to back up with her face mask when you have no one on and to back up and get out of your face. But yet you're talking to the old white man who disrespects everybody in there. And y'all face to face and y'all both don't have no mask on. Right? Horrible. 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 And that's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to be. Prosper where? You're not going to prosper. You're going to continue to keep hiring people and you're going to continue to do that. And the people that sit in the office are going to continue to use your company and just sit there and do crap. And you're going to continue to pay them. You care more about, some of these companies got it backward. You care more about people in office that's not doing anything, right? And treat the workers who are actually making that company move. I say all the time, if all of these ground workers, I call them ground workers, including me, just really throw their hands up and say, this is it. We're not going to McDonald's. We're not going to these warehouses. They will cry, jump out the window and panic. But we'll also get things done. That's why I say voting is not going to change this behavior. Stop with saying, oh, voting going to do this. And you don't know my ancestors. If anything, you abuse and use my ancestors. So please stop. I know my ancestors very well. And vote, that's not what they passed away for, to be voting. That's not what it was for. So for me, like I said, when I hear people pushing the voting is not going to change what's going on. How many presidents have we voted for, including Barack? How many presidents that we voted for and we expecting? Now, I'm not saying that certain presidents didn't make certain moves. No. Congratulations to the ones that did. But like I said, when you are in a position where you can call things overnight, I don't want to have no excuses. There's no excuses. Because People like us, we can't give excuses. It's off the jail we go. It's cast to the stone we are. There's no, oh, this is why this person is the president or secretary. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Like I said, when I grew up, there was certain ways you were supposed to conduct yourself as a president, as senator, as this and that. Oh, that's out the window. That's out the window. Like, people, we must wake up. Now, that's not me saying you shouldn't vote and you should. That's on your decision. You keep that 12th house private. I remember I'll keep mine private. But at the end of the day, my opinion is, what? That's even if my vote be freaking even accepted and all that other stuff. But voting is not going to change anything. Things will change when the people in the position change it. As simple as that. These peoples in these companies, these people, that's when things will change. Voting for a man that's not going to even say hi to me, not even going to knock on my door and say, hi, I'm your president. Come on. That will look my way and step over me if I got forbid was on fire on the ground or something. Like, stop it. But that's once again learning your law and your history. Another story for another day. All I'm saying is, add value to yourself. Try to be your own doctor, detective, cop. Not saying you don't need those. You don't need to go to the doctor. You don't need a cop. Nobody's saying none of that. But try to be your own everything first. Right? That goes for everybody. Try to be your own everything first. And learn as much as you could. Learn your histories and your laws as much as you could, because you'll become more aware of everything. And you will keep evolving and becoming more aware. Trust me, I bump into roads. I have my days, my times. You won't believe I'm having it right now as I'm talking to you guys. Since I was a child, you look at one of my child pictures, you'll always see me smiling. But beyond that smile, the pain and the stories I can tell. But it's a blessing that I'm still able to keep smiling, though. It shocks me sometimes. Sometimes I be shocked, like, girl, what your smile for? All the stuff you done going through, you up here smiling. It shocks me. But I know I'm still blessed. And I know I will prosper. I know I will evolve, because I know who I am, and I understand what it takes. I'm working on my patience. So, just add value to yourself. Just add value to yourself. Understand that these companies will not prosper. They will not. It's to be said. I didn't write it. I didn't say it. It's the truth. It's the truth. Look, for all these companies, look at your past history with your company. You look at it. You look at the people you've hired and fired. You look like. But then you have companies who like to do that, though. That's another thing people need to understand. There's companies who like to do that whole find a way to fire you type thing, to hire 3 new people, pay them lesser. Switch them out of this and that because they don't know. Versus the old people that knows. You have those companies who do that every 6 months. They want to clean house and hire a new. But turn around and do the same crap that they fire people for. Oh, I'm firing you because you were flirting on a job or smoking on a job. But you're doing the same thing with workers there. You're doing the same thing. You're flirting with workers. You're flirting with the women. You're smoking the same exact thing. Huh? Make it make sense. Shall not prosper. You have companies who forget where they came from. You have companies who forget I was a crackhead just a couple of years ago. But you have family who hand deliver you crack. So it was more easier for you than the average person. So now you're going to say you're trying to tell someone, oh, to save up and to do this and do that. But is that how you did it? Is that how you do this? Sometimes it bothers me because I feel like you got to be a crackhead to succeed. No, seriously. Sometimes it really bothers me because it seems like you have to be a crackhead for somebody want to give you some housing, want to help you out with a good job, want to put you in the office or something. And it's like, I got to do some crack, to get things just a pushing. It tickles me. It really does, because I grew up, with, RP my beautiful mom. So she gave me a chance to experience, living in what people might call a uppity suburban community, just as well as living in urban most of my life. So when I say I truly understand both sides. I truly understand. The difference is they can come out, the Suburbans can come out, which I still see until this very day as I'm speaking to you. They can come out to these urban areas, buy these drugs, buy this knockoff stuff for their companies. Because that's what they do. They come up to Dollar Trees and Family Dollars, they rack up. Then you see it in their stores and they're charging you $4 or $5 for it. When you can go to Dollar Tree and get the same thing and you just think that in Dollar Tree. Corner stores, you like they never change their product. First of all, food and products have expiration dates on it. I know I worked in fast food, I worked in retail, this I know. There's certain times and limits. You go to these corner stores, you seen things in there from last year. Open up the stuff, is magnets falling out. Dare you ask for your money back? Dare you? And it's sad. That's why I said it's all of these companies, from corner stores to, and we know how the chain works. You guys go to the warehouse where it's cheapest, the last bitty yam, and you guys buy the products there, and then you put it in your store and you skyrocket. And then that's how people have bloated stomachs. They're very sick. They're throwing up. They're this and that in their food. They have worms and all this in their stomach because of what you do. And the government allows it. America, the government allows it. People shouldn't be able to do that. People should not be able to do half of the things that they do, and the government knows that they do, but they allow it. But you want to come down on people for a little bag of herb or something, or because they're doing something that you feel as though they didn't pay that ticket. You want to come for them and put out warmers and all that, but you have these companies doing crooked crack. You know they're doing crooked crack. Just like I was watching the vote and they saying this vote and that vote, and then it has others. So we letting others now vote. I thought others meant you was an alien or something like that. That you had to be like. It drains me sometimes of the foolery that I see, that I know personally. Drains me. Drains me. It really does. It drains me. Drains me. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah. And what do they expect us to do? Bypass it. Bypass it. Just like, where I'm from. I'm sure you guys, people heard it on the news. So I don't have to say where I'm from, but where I'm from, they're like, oh yeah, the corona has shot up sky high, the virus and everything. So we have to close the city down for a couple of weeks. You're not closing this. You're closing the city down because you feel like when people find out who the president is of the United States of America, they're going to have a riot if it's not who they want. So you have all these little stores downtown closing up, lying. The truth is, you're closing up because, and it's my city. Everybody sees it on the news. So I don't even have to tell my city. Immediately, we were the first city. We're gonna close down early at 8 o'clock p.m. because the virus has shot to the air. You're closing down because you're scared that when people find out who the president is going to be, it's going to be a riot. That's what you feel. But see, what the government has to understand is people don't necessarily give a fuck about breaking into stuff, really. They can still burn it down. You know how many people sit in the house waiting with their gasoline ready to do something? And you worrying about boarding some stuff up? Boarding should be the last thing that America's worried about. That the government should be worried about. But then people needs to also understand that when has America ever fought fair? They didn't fight fair getting us here. They didn't fight fair bringing us here. And that's with us. So you think that they won't have them shoot y'all down? See, what people need to understand is It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. We have our people out here. There, you guys have no, all of these cops and everything, and these army people. They wear vests. They wear protective gear. You guys have none of that. You guys have none of that. So if you're gonna do all of that, get your protective gear. Do the same thing that they're doing. You do it and show them how that crack feels. That's my motto. My motto always is for cops and government always, and I tell people, you guys have families too. Let's not forget. And your family's on social media, your aunts, your uncles, your little cousins, Billy and Bob, they're all there. Okay? There's schools there where they live, all that other stuff. Stop what you're doing. That's just my advice. Stop the negativity that you're bringing. Because you don't want that negativity to come on your family and your household and comes and touch home. Because then it's going to be a whole nother different game, right? Right? That's all I'm saying. It's a whole nother different game. I can't say if we all want peace, if we all want war. I don't know. I'm not. I can't say what's in everyone's head. I can only say what's in mine. And in my opinion, what do I want? At this point, I'll put it like this. I'll keep that private to myself. I'll keep it in my 12th house. And I'll keep it private to myself. Because I know what I want. I do. So, and that's just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just that. But as far as the government, ask the people what they want. Ask them. They'll tell you. Go ask that person next door. Come down to these urban communities and listen and do something about it. Where I'm from, I'm going to touch on this and we'll wrap it up. They're getting all these monies and trillions and billions. And instead of, really knocking things down, which they had the millions and trillions to do, they're putting little percentages into the stuff that was already there and rebuilding these housing things that should not be rebuilt. I've been watching on the news what they've been doing with my city. My city and Channel 12 and stuff. I've been watching on the news. And the money that they've been giving to my city. And it's horrible because in every housing building in my city, there's mold. In every housing building in my city, there's mold. If I'm not telling the truth, if I'm not telling the truth about this, contact me. Take me to court about it. If I'm not telling the truth. And it comes through the walls, right? They come in when someone moves out. They repaint it. They spray what they spray. So you can't tell. You have to wait for a good month before you start seeing the little black aspects. People in housing are not saying, to move us out and tear us down, because they're saying it because of what they're seeing. It's coming through the walls, and you can keep trying to repaint and all that. That's not how mold works. How you're building stuff on top of the things, and there's so many molded people buildings. Before the epidemic came, they gave them millions and trillions of dollars for housing and hasn't fixed anything. They were supposed to come and put locks on the doors and never finished and never did anything. So when I walk out of my homes, there's crackheads, there's drug dealers, there's people shitting in hallways, and you got to deal with that. There's no cameras. They have cops here for you in case you get out of line. But they don't have guards going through these hallways and making sure, people's stuff are safe, or you can have a guard in the facility that you can come to and be like, guard, there's crackheads in my hallway. There's people in my hallway selling drugs. There's none of that. That's another video for another day. I'll touch on that. Give them money for what? They had a girl on the news saying, oh, yeah, I feel safe here. And, they gave me housing and all. Stop it. Stop it, Norm. Stop. Oof. Did I say my city? I'll do some videos on my city, because as much as I was born and raised here, so this is my city. I have a so my stopping grounds. So I have a right to say what I say about and I will continue. Half of these mayors in my city, mayor, secretary, they're not even from my city. They don't even know my people. They don't even call them their people. They don't truly know. And if they do, they try to get the ones that's talking about it, throw them a little something, something so they can be quiet. I'm not that one. You can't throw me anything that I already give myself. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I know more about my city than any mayor can ever tell me. I know more about my people in my city than any mayor in my city can ever even fix their lips to have a conversation with me about what it is the people in my city need. But see, the difference is when you're young and you're a female, and that's another thing. Female's another story because I'm up here for an hour so far. But when you're young and you're a black female, and in certain aspects, if they feel like, oh, you're from here, or you don't have this, or you don't know this person, or you don't have connections here, they don't want to listen to you, or they can care less to. But they're so quick to listen to a bald-headed dude or a man because they feel like he's a man and he's saying this and he fake connections here and all that. When really, if you look at my mayor's record and his family's record, and you'll see everything you need to see. From the last mayor to the first mayor to everybody, you'll see embezzling money, fraud. It's just sad. It's sad. And you guys are electing them again. Electing them to do what? Spend the money? They say on the news, and sometimes I gotta keep recording, and sometimes I'm a busy cookie, so I'm doing things. But they even said how much money they give, and what money, how much is going to be, the percentage is going to be to fix this up and fix that up. If the money is giving to the city, give it to the city. I don't give a damn if it's $5. You go and make sure everybody in that city somewhere got that $5. Period. And then you show the evidence. You show the people. My whole thing is this. Nobody's saying, okay, you're the mayor, you don't deserve a trip after you done put all the hard work on. Yeah. But you can't take the money and do for you and yours. You can't do that. You can't take the money and say, okay, I'm going to give it to all my immigrant friends, and I'm going to put them up in these apartments and these all this and give them that, and then treat the people of the North, the people who actually voted for you, like crap. Locking them up and doing unnecessary crap. And these people that's on these houses are supposed to be entitled to certain shit that they're not even entitled to. A paint job. A new window. Bars on your windows for kids. Simple things. Simple. How do you put in? They have these things in houses. Oh, you put in a letter and say what you need done, but you don't get it done till if it ever gets done. You know how many letters people don't put in about mold? I put in and yet to be done. Yet to be done. Come on. But you want us to vote? Vote for what? Non-changeable things? Vote so you can have a check and keep embezzling it with you and your family. Check the. I'm a big check the records thing because that's what the government do. It's crazy because a cop told me one day that people records don't matter. He was an illiterate, stupid cop, because that's why the government keep records. Oh, your records matter. Your records matter a lot. That's why some people be having misdemeanor counts still on their record that should have been dismissed, but they're still. Your record matters a lot. And if it didn't matter to the illiterate cop who said it to me, people think because they are in these positions that it's so hard to become a cop or a doctor. It really isn't. Anyway, but it matters. So to all of these mayors and all that, people, check their records. Check their family history. See what they're really about. Watch their actions and speak up. But all y'all asking me to do, don't ask me anything. Don't come to me knocking on the door with this government. I'm not the one. Okay? To my people, and I say that to the world when I say my people. I don't exclude, except if you're a negative spirit, and I can give a crap about you. But other than that, add value to yourself. Add value to yourself. I don't speak to racist people. I can care less about them. They're pretty much dead to me. just like certain things. So, but to the people who have common sense, and understands where I'm coming from and what's going on, that's my advice. Add value to yourself. Surround yourself by people who truly care for you. You know, and do your history. Study your laws. Study your history. I say that, from back in the day and until this day, like, pay attention, and don't think that voting is you're gonna wake up and everything is gonna be spanky danky right then and there, because we've seen it years and years to come. We've seen this. This is nothing new. So, that was my viewpoints today on government jobs and, adding value to yourselves. And see you, everybody.